Hello, Stoney fam, and welcome back to TokeTalks with Tia. I got some great terpenes for this next episode to talk about with you guys. And for this one, it's going to be a little bit different than the last ones, just because there's not too many dominant strains that I could find for both of these, just because they're not as common. So I'm going to kind of add them both together. We're going to go from starting with Linalool first, and then we're going to move on to Ocimene, which are really cool, interesting terpenes we're going to talk about. So Linalool, starting first, has like a nice sweet and like florally, very lavender aroma to it. And it's going to taste more like sweet and a little bit of spicy and like herbally to it. It's usually commonly used as like a sedative, and it's a great relaxant. Very great for relaxation. It helps also for medicinal purposes. It can help with that. It can help with increasing your, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, I apologize. It's called ʟɪᴍᴇᴇ, which is a sedating hormone that helps you fall asleep. So it's definitely reassuring you that it's going to be a nice relaxing terpene. It may also help with stress relief, help regulate your immune system. It can also help with if you're dealing with any pain. It can help ease with that. It can reduce accessibility of the spinal cord, or I'm sorry, wrong word. Excitability. I cannot pronounce words today, guys. I'm probably saying that, butchering it, but it's the cells that transmit pain signals to the brain, so it kind of cuts that off a little bit. But for that part, I'm probably not explaining that the best. Definitely check out the links that I'm going to put below with all the information about this terpene, because I feel like it'll be explained a lot better than I can do. But moving on, it helps with epilepsy, and it also helps with Alzheimer's disease, as well as it increases the brain's ʟɪᴍᴜᴏ, which is the levels of your heart rate. Now, before we talk about the strains, I'm going to smoke with you guys. I got a nice bowl packed of a little bit of mix of LA Kush Cake and some Kush Clouds. Both are some very nice indica. One's a very heavy indica, and the other one's kind of like a hybrid, but both I've found are very relaxing. So this one's going to be a nice one. So cheers, guys. Ooh, that felt nice. So moving on, we're going to talk about the dominant strains for Linalool. First one I have is an indica strain. It is called Mazar Sharif. It's testing at 13% THC. From smoking this, you'll mostly feel relaxed. You can also feel sleepy from it. And the aroma and flavors you'll kind of find from that is like some tea and some sage. It's a very potent physical relaxation type of strain. If you have any body pain, muscle aches, this is a good strain to use. Or like trying to relax before bed. Linalool is the top terpene in this one, but for number 2 would be caryophyllene, and third would be myrcene. Moving on, I don't have too much information about this one yet, but we got Buddha Haze. Linalool would be the top terpene for this one, from what I'd found. I couldn't find any more information, unfortunately, about that strain, so we're going to move on. Next one is Borderline Extreme. Oh, I apologize. No, I'm reading the wrong one. This one's Wedding Mints, number 13. This one it has Linalool as the top terpene. Second one would be limonene, and third would be myrcene. It's testing at 19% THC. It wasn't listed if it was a hybrid or a indica or a sativa, and I had not tried this personally. I'd find it probably be more like an indica-leaning hybrid, in my opinion, just because of lavender being the top terpene, and just from the other effects I've read from it, like you'll get relaxed from smoking this one, and it has some pine and some sweet, pungent type of aromas and flavors in that one as well. But if anyone's tried that, please let me know. It sounds interesting. But yeah, guys, this one's going to be a little bit shorter of a list. We're going to move on now to the next terpene, which is Ocimene, which isn't a very popular one, mostly just only because it's not predominantly found in a lot of cannabis. It's not the top terpene, I mean. So, but it is a very important one to learn about. So, Ocimene, the flavor aroma to that one would be kind of like woody, a little bit of floral undertones in there, and some minty. So, it's very minty. It rarely plays, though, a lead role in the strain's terpene profile, but it is sometimes one of the second or third most abundant terpene in there. So, it can be listed. It isn't, like, severely rare. Like, you can find it, but it's not quite often that you will. And the medicinal benefits you'll kind of find from that is it neutralizes various spike proteins that can cause viral infections. So, explaining that further, really to kind of like simplify it, from having this terpene, it goes in there and it takes out those certain type of proteins that could cause those type of infections, and it doesn't keep you from not getting those infections entirely. It just, I think it keeps it more from prolonging the effects of them or stuff like that. But again, I'm going to have listed underneath here not only the information about from Leafly about Linalool. I will also have it on here as well about Ocimene. So if you want to read more about it, check it out. It'll be underneath, listed below. But yeah, it's also an anti-inflammatory, so it is very great, very medicinally beneficial. And again, for this strain, I did not find, I couldn't find many strains that were dominant with this terpene in it. But this one's a really good one. I have tried this one. It is a great strain. It's called Godberry. It is crossed by God and Blueberry. And the most effect you'll feel from this is usually like a happy, somewhat giggly, relaxed from it. And it's like a berry and sweet blueberry type of aroma and flavor to it. And it may also kind of help with some pain if you're experiencing any of that, especially strong pain relief. If you have really bad back pain or severe, I have, for myself personally, I'll have like intestinal problems, and I find that strains that help with pain relief or gastrointestinal problems, those are really my go-tos. And this one's also body numbing, so if you're having any physical problems with your aches and ailments with your body, it'll definitely help with that. So I suggest checking out this strain. It's a great one. I also really like, not really relevant that much, but it does also have the name berry in it. I really like the strain Member Berry. It is hilarious. What it's named after, I laugh every single time that I smoke it. It just makes me feel happy and relaxed and giggly and just all of the great, honestly, I feel like I've gotten every effect out of it from different times of smoking it. So it's a very interesting strain. I find sometimes, I've said this before and I'll always say it, that the site and setting plays a huge part too in what when you're consuming. Definitely pay attention to that, because certain strains, they might make you feel one way, and then if you're smoking that strain in a different setting, it can make you feel a different way. So, and if you're ever wondering like, why do I feel this way when last time I smoked it I felt like this, it can be a numerous amount of reasons for that. It can be definitely because of the site and setting and many other different variables. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening. I'm going to smoke one last bowl with you guys, and then I'm going to head out and hop back on again when we're going to talk about the next terpenes. But thank you guys again so much for listening. I appreciate you all so much. And yeah, let's get high. Thank you guys again so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and thanks again for listening.